Hello everyone. Actually, I realized I did not close my blinds or turn on my light, so it is dark in here. Let me fix that really quick. There we go. Consistent lighting, messy couch, messy office. But hello, welcome back, Sweeky. You've been like traveling and busy, so you haven't been joining us in chat lately. Glad to have you here. I didn't finish my lunch, so I'm gonna quietly eat chips if that's possible, and try not to be loud. All right, maybe I won't because I can't talk and chew. Maybe I'll do that while I'm coding. Hey Ben, welcome. Yes, hopefully you get that pull request in soon. All right, so today as I play with code, I wanted to do things a little bit differently. There's that new hot reload project that just came out, so I'm going to actually use the new XAML hot reload during today's stream. It's super exciting. I had to change a couple things to make it work, but it's no big deal. Overall, it just works. So that's pretty exciting. I did one commit off stream. I haven't done that in a while. Most of my commits are still on stream for this project, but I did do one off stream, and it just changed a tad bit of the project setup, and I'll show that when I jump into it. Yes. All right. So, Ben, you're joining us for the hackathon next week, right? I believe so. So next week at the hackathon, we're going to be working on a fun project. I think Ben and Squeaky are going to be in the Microsoft hackathon with us. Ben, though, you're going to be doing it remote, where the rest of us are going to be doing it in Redmond. Sorry, you're out. You're not there. But all right, you'll be able to help. It'll be fun. We're used to working remote. But I'm going to live stream as much of it as possible Monday and Tuesday next week. So it's going to be fun. We're going to be working on something new, a new project I've been prototyping for a little bit. We're going to open source it and work on it next week. And it's going to be really fun, really exciting. So tune in and join if you can. Technically, you're on holiday, so are you going to hack with us at all, or you're just gonna hang out? All right, I'm going to switch over. Actually, I don't have my. One second, I'm gonna get one thing changed on my screen. I had to do my quick restart my PC before the live stream and didn't do it quick enough. Let's bring up the agenda and let's figure out what we want to work on today. Haven't done the agenda for a couple times. All right, so we're gonna jump over. Oh, green screen. Really? That's not useful. That's useless. Okay, let me figure out how to fix that. That is so funny. Maybe I can fix it live. Maybe I'll have to stop the stream and restart it. I don't know. Let's see what I can do. All right. Still green. Still. Oh, hey! Nope, that's not green now. But it's not good. It's okay. I can fix this. I know what to do now. Let's go back to this one. Please look good. Hey. Oh, come on. Hey, there we go. That was really funny. I've never seen my screen do those. That's so funny. All right. Depends on what the Wi-Fi is like in Greece. Okay, so you joined our hackathon, and you're gonna be hacking from Greece. That's pretty epic, especially if you actually join and do some commits. All right. So, hey, Blounty, welcome. We were just talking about the hackathon and how excited we are for it. You will also be there, which will be fun. And I can't wait to unveil the project that I'm going to be working on. Haven't done so yet, but it'll be fun. All right. So, but I am going to be playing with the new hot reload today. It's so hot right now. Got to use it. So, um, last week we worked on a lot of back-end stuff. We worked on getting the search working. Let me see if that's up. Like I said, lots of back-end stuff, but the screen is so beautiful. It just works. I like it. It was a lot of fun building this panorama control and making it work. But it now works. So type Blink. It'll show all the Blink songs that are in our local library. And then if we go to Google, it'll show us artists and albums and songs. And this thing also, the order of these aren't always the same. And we do have the little quick jump based off these little dots here. But the order's not always the same. So if I search for something more specific, like all the small things, oops, that's 2 words. All the small things, still, if I add blink, does it narrow it down more? Songs and then videos. So it's using however Google thinks we should order it. We're using their magic order. But the order does change, which is pretty cool based on what's going on. So yeah, really nice. And we've only got one thing, all the small things. I'd like to improve that search. Yeah, Android's being wonky, so maybe today we spend time cleaning up Android. I think today would be a good Android day because Android looks so bad. It looks really, really bad. And I'd like to make it, I mean, we've spent most of our time on iOS. Also, though, there's one thing that's really bothering me. This is blank. This should not be blank. We have a current song. We watch the progress. If I press play, it plays a song. We have a current song. Oh, you guys could hear that and I couldn't. That's really funny. Why couldn't I hear that? I think I need to do something else. I don't care. I'm not going to fight that right now. But you could hear it. I just couldn't, which is really funny. I wonder if I do this. Let me do this, see what happens. No, that broke all my audio. But yeah, why is the mini player broken? So that's going to be broken on both. Let me stop the simulator and restart it and see if that fixes it. I just want to see if that fixes my audio. The simulator remembers its audio settings, and so even if you change your system once, it doesn't change the simulator until you reboot it a lot. Sometimes it's fine switching between headphones and not, but anything past that, it does not work. So let me press play. Let me stop that music. Okay, that did something. Why is there an error playing that track? You're obviously downloading it. Uh-oh, there's lots of errors. So many errors. Okay, I'm gonna stop and start it. Yeah, I'd like to know why that mini player is blank when it first loads, because that's not cool. There it is again. Yeah, it can't play. Hey, what is that? The cheers? Thanks for cheering, Blounty. Yeah, it doesn't like the audio when I tell it to play to both me and you. So rude. So rude. All right, let me turn it back to just you, and I gotta restart the simulator. Simulator audio issues. Always audio issues. That's right. You guys can hear the music today and not me, which is funny because that's backwards. And I probably shouldn't let you guys listen because then it's going to ban me for playing unauthorized music. That's right. If I just do short clips, it'll work. All right. So press play. You guys hear music. I don't, but I can't see anything. So let's find out what's going on with this. A couple things that I did change. So we had hot reload. Working with the XAML is I did a lot of stuff in my constructor for my now playing XAML thing. Like I did a lot. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play music for me, and yeah, I'll probably switch it back to just me because there's no point in you guys hearing it and not me. All right, so put it back on my headphones. You guys don't want to hear it anyways. There you go. I agree. All right, so I'm going to restart the simulator. Now, but a couple changes that I made with the style that I code. If I did pure MVVM, I wouldn't have had to change anything to make hot reload work. However, I use MVVM as a very loose guideline. And yeah, I don't do it right. So because of that, I built a lot of my UI and filled children manually because I didn't feel like making these classes data bindable just because I was lazy and that type of stuff. And because of that, I now have a build UI method. And this was some code I did change. I changed offline just to make sure I could get hot reload working. In on appearing, I call my build UI, and I also call it in my constructor. Now the big thing is here, I check if I need to build the UI. The bottom bar is empty when it first loads from XAML, and then I manually populate it. So I'm just doing a really lazy check. If there's children, don't do anything. It's already built and ready to go. Now this will allow me to use hot reload. Now I also need to see, I do call set state. To set state, do all of the use current songs, view model. I wonder if something's not being done with the current song. Obviously, something's happening with the current song. Do I hook into this? Now playing hooks into... Okay, so I set the state. Yeah. Build UI. Maybe we put a set state. I thought I had one in here. I do. I set the state. All right. So we're going to debug through this, and I want to see what's going on. Hey, Michael J. Foley, and I am not myself. Thanks for the join, guys. Thanks for rating. We are right now working on gMusic, and we're trying to fix a bug. When we load up, gMusic remembers the exact state of your app. However, it's not displaying the right state. It's showing that we have no track loaded. It even remembers like how far through the song you were. So if you like the app force quits, or you just stopped the music long enough for the app quit, when you come back and remember where you were. However, it's not doing what it's supposed to. All right. So I want to see what's going on here. So if I'd go to here, do we have a song? No, song is null right now. Let it load up. Song is still null. Maybe our view model is not describing properly. All right, and this never got fired. Well, that's an easy fix. No, we have hooked in here, so we have our current song notification. Maybe that's not firing. Find references. Current song changed. It is, let's find this thing. So we'll find all references of this. Yes, I am using the latest version of Hot Reload with on appearing. So those of you who are in the early previews don't have that yet. It's the only thing that I have that you don't. It is coming out though, so you're not too far behind. All right, so Playback Manager calls this when the player changes. It needs to call this at another point. So, hey, thanks. I heard some weird. Oh, thanks, Piece of Pizza, for the follow. So what's happening is when I instantiate my playback manager, this is what keeps track of that state, our currently playing songs, what the next song is, and things like that. I reload state, and we need to look at when we load this playlist, it's going to set our current song for us. It sets the current song index, task.run, and then it does this prepare, and it prepares that song. We need to make sure right here we also send this notification. Nope, current playlist changed. Let's also set this one, and we're going to pass that song on. That way when we load our playlist, we're going to have data from the beginning. So I think if I was to stop and start this, we're not going to have that little gray box there. We should have the appropriate album artwork for whatever song is in memory. And then we should be in good shape. And we can start, we're probably gonna work on Android next, though, guys. So all of you just joined in right now, we're playing with iOS, but this is a cross-platform app, and hey, now we're getting this notification. I have been lazy and really only been paying attention to iOS. And so that's, oh no, it didn't do it. Come on. All right, let's go back to our view model. Maybe our view model wasn't hooked in yet? Hey, Bounty, thanks for hosting. All right, so let's look at, where was I thinking? Let's go to the view model. Maybe the view model's not grabbing that on load. Now playing view model, I lost it. Now playing page, nope, that's the XAML. Let's go to here, let's go to our now playing view model, and maybe on load, this needs to get the current track. Maybe that's it. So we subscribe to get the track. Let's do current song equals playback manager dot share dot play. Do I have current song? That's the current song index. We could do get song at that index dot player dot current song. That'll do it though. And now we're hooked in everywhere. This might not have been subscribed yet at that point. Player dot current song. There we go. I can type, I promise. All right, so let's play this now. Hey, R2, welcome. Let's run this again, and let's see if this fixes that bottom area. And then we'll jump over and we'll start cleaning up Android as much as possible. because some things just don't work quite right on Android. But there is a song. Yes, perfect. That was the problem. We were not setting that at the right time. Set state is called. It's updating our artwork. And we now have stuff. That's much better. So much better. All right, let's commit this. Um, oh yeah, you saw John? Did he show you anything fun and exciting? All right, so let's hook into these. Now playing page. This is all we need to do. Oh, I was toying with those. All right. So did John show you a prototype of some sort? I've already hinted to those that are watching. Next week is the hackathon, and I am definitely going to be live streaming as much as the hackathon as I can. And so this project is going to be open source, the one that these people in chat are talking about. There's a new, I might show it today. There's enough people on. Do you guys want to see it? Maybe I'll show everybody. It's kind of more fun than gMusic anyway. All right. If you guys want to see it, I'll show it. Let me say fixed now playing screen or initial load. I have no chill. I don't. I get too excited. I can just hang. I can hold off and not show the new stuff if people don't want to see new stuff. I mean, if you guys don't see new stuff, oh, I didn't update. Okay, let me commit this. This is the new build UI stuff. All right. Everyone's voting yes. I have new stuff to show. Have you not seen it yet, Ben? You joined the hack team and you haven't even seen it? All right. All right, fine. I will preview for those of you who want to see it. Let me push that on. All right. Let me close this solution and let me open a recent. Ooh, wrong project. Not that one. Totally opened the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on. Let's censor appropriately. I will switch and get to the right project. I don't actually didn't need to censor. I just thought it would be fun to censor. I don't get to press that key very often. All right, recent solutions. Switch again. Yes, censored. That's just a fun button. I liked the GIF when I found it, and so I never get to use it. All right, let's go back. Back to code. All right, so this is just a little sneak preview. I have a little sample here, and let's hope it all runs. I was playing with it right before we started. Ben's been working. So have I. All right, so I will be open sourcing this by the end of the weekend, at least by the end of the weekend, because we're going to be working on it next week, Monday and Tuesday. All right, so this is a little thing called Hot UI. Let's go to the sample that we're looking at. And we are looking at the main page. And this is not Xamarin.Forms. It does work with Xamarin.Forms. It works with both, but this code is all the code that was used to build this screen. The idea behind this is it's a little MVV or an MVU style platform. So model view update, and if I change any of these data models and I click, I don't even, wait, get render, you're required to pass, I broke it. Totally broke it. Let me try that again. There's no navigation buttons. That should have worked. It's right. If that doesn't work, I'll fix it really quick. Let's let it sit for a second. That is really weird. That was totally working like half an hour ago. All right, we're not going to go to that screen. We're going to go do a different screen. Like I said, early prototype, really early prototype. We're going to be working on it for our hackathon. Yeah, what'd I break? I don't even know what I broke. It is a helpful exception, but that exception shouldn't happen. It has very, very useful exceptions. So let's go to this binding sample. And it's very ugly right now, as you can see, because this is just my little sample. If we look at this binding sample code, it's a lot better. So it's a view, and it has stateful things. And yeah, I broke something. John or I broke something. Been working on it a lot lately. And what's cool about this is I can just declare this body of what goes into here. And I say, hey, this has a new scroll view. It's a vertical stack. And if the state is editable, Oh, John's was pre-recorded? No, I play with it. It's live. If this Boolean is editable, then this is a label or it's a text box. Right now it's a label, so I can say hi, and then it updated this label, which is also magically data bound. Look at that. Data binding without even declaring data binding. It just updates. And if I do like update text, update label, I can switch between a text and a label, and it does fancy formatting, and it just data binds magically. And let me see if I can zoom out a little bit so you can see the entire code to make that. But that is for that fancy, fancy UI. If I go to a really ugly screen, ignore the ugliness here. Actually, let's do a clip one. These are fun. Look at this clip sample. Did I go to the right one? Clip sample one. Right, clip sample one. And then clip sample one. So this code matches. This overlay, if I comment it out, you'll watch the overlay instantly disappears. And I can just do the same thing with the shadow. Let's comment out the shadow. Let's bring it back. And let's get rid of the clipping altogether. Who needs to clip? And so, yes, that code right here generates that UI. And we're going to be working on this and open sourcing it next week. So, really fun. Tune in. We're going to live stream as much as we can, but it's really cool. And it works live. Just instant updating on the device, on the simulator, doesn't matter. Works on iOS and Android, UWP, WPF, and Xamarin.Forms. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Join in next Monday and Tuesday. I don't know what time I'm going to start streaming. I'll tweet ahead of time and just start streaming at some point. And I'm going to stream as long as we can. Last year for the hackathon, or not last year, the year before I was in Redmond, and we worked until it was late. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 a.m. And then got back up and we're back working by like 8 a.m. It was awesome. So I'm going to stream as much of the hackathon as I can. Um, if it's too distracting to us, maybe we'll just have the camera on so you guys can watch. But I plan on having it on unless I'm told not to or the internet just dies on us. And I can't. I plan on having it on as long as we're working. So yes, we will have it on. So join. All right. So we fixed that one. Should we look at Android now? Let's look at Android and see what we can fix on Android. Unless you guys are too distracted by Hot UI. All right, so this is building and running Android. I deleted my Android emulator and created a new one just for you, Sweeky. Yeah, I think I should be able to stream as much of it as possible. If I'm told not to, because I don't know why, then I will, but it should all be fine. And like I said, the internet. Internet is the thing that I'm worried about, is if the internet fails on us. Because the way the hackathon is set up is they bring in these giant like circus tents, like the biggest tents I've ever seen, and they hook up all the internet for us and Wi-Fi and power everywhere, and they even hook up air conditioning. Like it's crazy, and so it's really cool, really fun. But yeah, if the Wi-Fi, because there's lots of people, depending on the time of day, Wi-Fi might work better than other times. All right, and since I reset, I need to log in. But yeah, we will definitely stream as long as the internet holds up. I will see if I can get like dedicated Ethernet. That'd be even better. I think that's the right email. Okay, that's working. Hey, and it's even letting me use my keyboard. Okay, it's logging in, I think. All right, it logged in, and it's so ugly. Does anyone know much about the blur views? Because I'm using a blur view I'm using a third-party blur view, and it's really ugly. Why do we not have data? Okay, well, we definitely have a crash on the first login. Let's press play a couple times. No, I did sign in. I just did it off screen. It didn't sync right or something. Because look, synced the entire database. and grouped it in 3 milliseconds. Get item, index was out of bounds. I've ran into this a couple times, so I don't know. Let's run it again. I'll have to do it and play with that. Turn on your screen thing, show your keyboard short. Oh, thank you. Keyboard shortcuts. Hey, look. So something didn't happen. It didn't update the UI. So we could debug that or we can work on Android. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just this bottom screen. Nope, thing is really bad. Drag this to here. All right. It's called Keycaster. Keycaster is back. You need the key things. It's nice seeing my hotkeys. It's like, why did the screen just change? You want to know. I need to disable the half height thing because I didn't build that for the rest of anything else. Oh, this isn't doing... Our stuff's not fading away. Let's fix that. All right, we've got stuff to work on Android. The volume view, I haven't done the volume view. That's why it's just this random awkward color. Most of this purple is coming from our blur view. I don't know why the blur view is getting purple, but it's driving me nuts. So if I tap on a song, is it going to play the song? And then it updated and everything's still purple. I don't know. I'm making a UI test mute. It's because I don't. I don't. Keycaster works okay. There was another one I liked a lot better. The thing I don't like about Keycaster is if I go like why is it showing me like 10 of those? And so I had to put the timeout on them so they fade away. It should just show the last one. I don't know. It's the only thing I don't like about it. And it never remembers the screen position. It moves around. All right. So let's go over to the Android specific stuff. This is inside of our custom renderers. We have our slide up navigation render, and we need to keep track of that slide. Is that all it is just right here on drive right line? All right, let's just check and see if that's all it is. If so, that's gonna be really easy. Really, really easy. While that goes, I'm gonna take a bite of my sandwich. Scroll this way down. QStream's doing its thing. Oh, wrong one. Why is my clicking not working? Oh, it is now. Oh, okay, that's not giving us. That would have been way too easy. Way, way too easy. All right, so I am using a custom control that is a port of an Android control. And this has this coordinate layover. Let me look through. It's been a while since I've looked at this. So let's look at this is presented. Set values from renderer. Dun, 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 update master. There's something in here that I don't remember. Been a while since I've looked at this thing, but we'll figure it out. All right. So tablet, no, that's not. I'm in here, right? Okay. Android slide up. I do something to where I set how offset they are. You know, is it getting anything from this colors? I wonder if this color here that it's getting is where that blue's coming from too. I know, if only this was written in Hot UI, it would just auto reload for me as I go. And it's a lot less code. A whole lot less code. All right. Color background. It's this. Let's disable this. Maybe that's where our purple or pink is our blue is coming from. That would be nice. So nice if that's all it is. Oh, and I don't need breakpoints on comments. That's silly. Press play. Why is the nope, still blue. Only I was so lucky. All right. So let's go into these renderers and figure out what it's doing. On layout, master detail, dot bounds, there is a control, this bottom sheet, drag callback. We might have to do it in here to where we have, this is the drag. That's on view, position changed. Okay. That's going to tell us what the top is. Let's put some, problem with debugging those is it's too much data. It's like overload. And I like using debug.writeLine because it makes it nice and blue. So let's watch what this top value is. Some of this, yes, but in Xamarin.Forms, how do you do two things like that? This UI is impossible in Xamarin.Forms. Most of this is forms. If you look at the number of custom renders I have a blur view, I have a gradient background view, and I have this slide up renderer. That's it. The rest of it is pure Xamarin.Forms. But I want a slide up that stays over and this, and you can't do that in forms. I wrote, and to keep that in mind, I did as much as possible, like my search. This is, that's really slow to animate. That's Xamarin.Forms though, pure native Xamarin.Forms. So I wanted to make sure that I did forms as much as possible. But yeah, this just isn't possible as far as I know. If you know how to do this in forms, I would love to see that. We could work together and I'd update it. That would be amazing. It might be possible if I worked really hard, but the touch gestures, the gesture support's not good enough to do the drag as well. So we'd have to fix the forms gestures, which needs done anyway. So it's kind of a multi-purpose thing. All right, now while that was dragging, let's check for these offsets. So is that going to tell me how far from the top it is? Perfect, perfect. That's all I need to know. That is where we'll get our value. All right, so then it tells the behavior to dispatch. Let's see where this thing is used, so I know how to hook into it. Slide up panel. I have this behavior here. Perfect. Behavior, behavior. So we'll say behavior. We'll hook into that, and that's how we'll tell our element the change. So I also should check and see what some of those other values are. Let's look at what bottom is on that. That's all the magic collapsing. Oh, this does the on view released how far it was, but we want to do it not on view release change. That's how we do the anchor differences for the two things. We're probably going to disable that for now because I just never built it for iOS either. Okay, I totally lost that method. Bug.writeLine. Okay, so I want to see what the bottom is while this is going on because that will be useful. Because I need to know the overall height of this thing. Oh, it's not called bottom, is it? Top, is it dy? Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, pure forms when and where I can, and I am doing it as much as possible. Just because, yeah, it's easier. But, oh, and also I did use a custom control that was someone else's third party for my blurs because you can't do blurs very well in forms. Why is my dragging? Okay, let's look at that debug. Oh, and QStream. QStream is messing with us. So 0, okay, so that just does us negative how far. I need to know the overall bounds, and I'm wondering if I can get that if this knows the overall bounds. Yeah, there's plenty of things like that that are missing that are hard to do. Okay, so if this threshold is a float, where these are being used then, this should be getting the overall height. That's on the view released. Is that being used during drag? I just wonder if something's going to tell me how big it is, because I need a percent. That's how gMusic does it all, is all based off percent. Like inside the form side, it just wants a percent. So I need to see how to get, this would know. Okay, I got an idea. What we'll do is, let's go back to this part. We'll do public action. Are those our ints? Int, and now we'll just do dot top, oops, nope, dot invoke top. All right, so this doesn't know how big it is, but we do know how big it is. Where's my search? Right here. This does know how big it is. So now inside of our new this, we will do, where's that behavior? Behavior right here. All right, behavior dot, what did I just call that? My memory sometimes, I swear, is bad. Drag change. I can keep track of so many things, but variable names, horrible names. All right. All right. So now that will pass this thing along, and we'll say I. Now this knows how big. Drag changed is inaccessible. That looks right to me. Okay, let's just hit build and see if if Rosalind's just a little bit behind. Yeah, more gesture stuff. Gestures are key. We need more gesture stuff. I do this on the right class. Oh, this is the callback, not the behavior. So the behavior has that. Okay. So we will go like this, move this. I have it in the wrong place. Okay. And now what we'll do here is we'll do behavior dot. Perfect. If that does that dispatch, does this? That's right, we'll go with that. All right, so now that fixed that. All right, so now on this master detail, we can ask, we were setting its size right here. So we know its size if we have that saved. We are setting that bounds, get bounds on that changed. So I should just be able to say bound, get its bounds. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to where we were. Now we can say master layout dot bound dot. Am I getting my controls mixed up? Said I wrote this thing a long time ago. Okay, so where's this container? Because this has the bounds. Let's find it. All right, so we have master out. Read that one more time. So master layout has a page on there, which is this. We're setting, where's that bounds getting set at? So the master, go to declaration. It's this guy. Find references. Right. You want to, oh, kids coming in to plug in the Nintendo Switch. Shouldn't have to do get clip bounds on that thing. Should be able to get its size. I wonder if we save it inside, oops. What if we do detail bounds? That's what we're looking for, because on this one, is it the master or the detail? I think we want the master bounds. Dot height. All right. So now we can say var percent equals, is this a double? Okay. that divided by double I. Gotta cast it or else we will lose all floating point precision. Maybe we don't on this one. We'll find out. It's saying no. All right, so now we have a percent. Now we just need to pass that along, and I think on iOS, let's look at, I just want to see what view, I set it on the view model. There's a thing on the view model. And the view model is, do we have it cast right? To a slide up panel. I don't cast that to a slide up panel. So right here, we'll say the element, we'll say, okay, master detail, container, visual element, master detail. All right, so we will say var, so we can do it inside of this. We'll just say this dot, or we'll say page as that. Now I can just say panel dot onside of here. All right, let's just go look at the slider panel. Which, easiest way, right click here, go to definition. Inside of here, I have percent visible I just set. Nice. I can't do that and delete, remove that. Let's put some breakpoints in here. And this is a float, of course. And they're saying I don't need that. I know it's probably because the first one's a double, and I don't need that. If the second one is not a double, I mean, if the second one, or if the first one's an int, I know I need that cast. So let's try this. Run this again. Yeah, this inner dev loop. Can't wait for something a little better. Okay, so now if we slide this, we're gonna get a percent, and that looks cute. Was that half? Not even close to half. So that height and that looks bad. All right, so let's look at the detail bounds. Well, why is that so far off? I wonder if one has screen scale and one does not? So I is 1520. That's almost exactly double. It's not taking into account screen resolution, and this bounds is. Fun, fun. Let's see if we can change that, because that's not going to help. Okay, dun dun dun. What are we doing in here? I wonder if there's a quick, easy way instead of me grabbing the screen scale and saving it. Anyone got any ideas on this one? Okay, because that is going to be the position received. Look in here and see if there's something already in this class that's useful. The tricky one to fix. So they're using, I need to do it not on release though. So what if I instead of doing that, I wonder if I can use the top, that dy was negative. What is that dy? Maybe dy is what I'm looking for again. Let me look at that again. Trying to remember what was in there. Right line, we'll do dy, and let's watch this thing spam the output again. See if it gives me something better. This is tricky. Is there a thing to tell this console to auto scroll? I thought it did by default, and now it doesn't. All right. Let's wait for the queue stream to finish so we can actually watch our stream of data. That's audio trying to play while download, and I think it's cached. All right, so it goes to 1. When it's going this way, it goes negative. When it's going this way, it goes positive. And what's the range on this? 0 to... I don't even see how far it goes. Looks like sometimes it jumps up to like 100 though. Is that a velocity? That's the velocity. Well, that's not going to help us at all. Okay, that's the velocity. Okay, so if we can't use the velocity, it has the top. So we have the view right here. What is... Can I get its bounds or... Can't remember what's on Android properties. What's on here that could be useful? Okay, time to Google. Time to Google, guys. So there's a .parent.getHeight. Okay, so let's do .getParent. It'll just be .parent in ours, right? .height. That's not giving me anything useful. Okay, so let's look at this again. Throw Xamarin.Android on there. Someone's always asking. Someone's already always asked. All right, now that gets the grid. Don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. It says a view.height. And this lives on Android views. This is an Android view, right? Wow, I can't believe I was missing that the entire time. All right, so let's see if that height is in the right points. If it is the right points, we'll just do our percent here and pass the percent on. I like that a lot more anyway. Yes, it is a set height. Perfect, and it's nice and big, just like we'd expect. All right, so now what we will do is, since this is, or what, that's an int and this is an int, we will cast these to a double. Our percent equals change view dot height divided by top. And I have a I have an extension, I believe, to make this easier so we can safe divide by 0 because we want to do that. And this actually needs to be height minus, then we will never have that. So, okay, that's what we need to do. Actually, I'm going to do var height equals change view dot height, just so we're not calling into native each time. We'll just say height divided by this, and that should never be 0. It can be 0, can't it? Thought I have a item files safe. I do have a math extensions that does that. All right, and that's just in gMusic, so we should be fine if these are double. So let's cast this to a double first. And then, see, why not have using gMusic up here? Don't have to. Let's see if we have the math helpers extensions. I hate having to check if it's 0 before I divide because that gets me all the time. Where was I? Right here. Okay, so we're right here. So this time we will do double. Cast that just to be safe. Dot. Do I need to cast or have that in parentheses first to get my safe? Dot safe. There we go. Okay, that's what we want. Now that we have our percent, let's just console.writeLine it. We will also do this. Let's go here and change this now to be float. Now we can go to where this is used and we'll fix it inside of here. Let's name that percent from the start. Delete this. Okay, that should be all we need. Remove the breakpoint because breakpoints on sliding are really obnoxious. Castaway. My sandwich is not doing good at getting eaten. Okay, that changed way too fast. It's saying always 0. Okay, it's off by 1. Maybe I did that backwards. So easy to get this math backwards. So height is that, top is 20. So how is that percent? Height minus 20. Oh, I have it backwards. All right, let's try that. Simple math. Actually, I don't need to do the subtraction then, do I? I don't even need the safe divide because it can't be 0 if it's by the height. So if I just do, no, the top, no, this is right. I think it needs that. I think it still needs it, but it doesn't need the safe divide anymore. It's still nice to do that so you don't ever divide by 0. But I highly recommend if you do lots of division. I need this for my times or for my stuff because I have all this like is 0 and I check for like epsilon, which is really needed. because that gets me all the time, like with my times. So if I haven't downloaded anything, if it's nan, dividing by nan also blows up. So that takes care of all of that, which is really, really useful. Hey, that looks like it's working. That guy's funny. No, that's right. It's right. That's perfect. I don't like this half step. Let's fix this half step because the half step is dumb. That's the default on this thing. All right, that took a long time to fix. Me and my poor math skills, along with not knowing where to even start. Oh, that's much better. I like it. Okay, the blue is still driving me nuts, but at least that now switches like it's supposed to and fades. I don't know if the fade is enough. But it's alright, I like it. That's about right. Okay, so let's commit that. Now that we've fixed Android. Oh, we should have adjusted the topic. The topic is all wrong. Topic, we'll say working on Android UI. We fixed that. Push that. Actually, I didn't even read my commit message. Got distracted. All right, so now we fixed that. Perfect. We've gotten somewhere. This height is still off. It should be lower, so let's fix that. Now, how big did I make it in Forms? I think it's wrong on iOS too. But we're working on Android, so let's fix it there. So on the Now Playing screen, on iOS is up here. We'll go to the Now Playing screen. The Now Playing has, where are we at? That top, that's the bottom bar, mini player. The mini player height is 54. Okay, that is 54 points. I don't know, is it? It looks like it's hard-coded. I don't think I adjusted either. We can double check that. I really don't think I think I did hard-code it to whatever. Maybe. Maybe it should auto-adjust. Can't hurt. Something to think about. Okay, for now it's hard-coded though. Like, let's verify inside of views, now playing. Oh wait, no, that's the bottom view. That's hard-coded as well. So the mini player bar height, 56. It is hard-coded to 56. So maybe we'll change it, maybe we won't. I don't know if I feel like getting into the math of figuring out the right size that it should be, because we probably should do some of that at some point, but I don't know if I want to do that right now. Sounds like a good pull request. Okay, so we were inside of the slide up panel. And the slide up panel sets the offset to 200, which I don't know where that value comes from because that did not look even close to 200 for me. Let's just say if it's not 56, it's the wrong size. So maybe we need to deal with the resolution. So what is 56 times 3? Let's just say 168 and see if that looks right. And if so, we know what it is. So we'll get the resolution of the device and then we'll adjust it accordingly. That's not quite right. Did that even adjust it at all? Make it bigger. Let's see what happened. The hard thing that I'm worried about is like what percent of the screen should it be? I mean, that content, it needs its height. I mean, it needs space. Okay, that did move it. So let's put it at just double. So 56 times 2, oops. Oh, what am I doing? 56 times 2 is 112, which I think this is a 2x resolution. That just didn't seem big enough, but I bet that's it. So what we'll do is we will grab the screen resolution. We can't get away from that. And we will set it to whatever our size is times that. I think I was before. Check it out. I already have the scale saved. Okay. Oh, but that's too. That's probably right, isn't it? That doesn't look right. What's it set at on iOS? Actually, let's look at iOS and see if iOS even looks good. Because I probably need to account for the padding as well, so I should probably get a value from the view model. That's it. I have padding there too. So even though that's the height, yeah, iOS even looks funny. iOS looks about right though. What is the iOS value set at? And let's see if we can revert. Let's get it set up properly so we can adjust it inside of that class. I don't know if I want to do percents yet, but at least then we'll have data. I mean, we'll be doing it right. So let's go to now playing. Let's go to our code. And we never use that, so let's do. I wonder if we're going to need to react to it changing. So if we do public float, are these floats or these are doubles? Public double. I don't need it to just be minibar height. I need it to be, because I don't want this being set. And this dot, I do get value. That's from a bindable property, and set value. Because I want to make sure that I'm getting this notification sent along, so that way my view can update. So the custom renderers will get a notification when that value changes. Because that value could change by doing ride property on. Isn't there on element change? Page.handle property changed. Okay, so I already have this here. So that's if the master detail changes, we have that. So I need to hook into that and say, if that main thing changes, we need that too. Sorry, that's bugging me. Hard-coded string names, not cool. And then we'll do this again here. All right, much better. Makes me happier. All right, so we're gonna do this the right way. I'm gonna have to put a bindable property on here, which I hate doing these. So public, I don't even think I need to make it public. Static, bindable. Bindable property. New bindable property. And my IntelliSense is not gonna work for me. Find all references, because I know I've done this somewhere else. We'll go copy some code. Oh, you've not seen me use bindable properties somewhere, have you? All right. Toggle button. All right. And we're going to do a private set on this thing anyway. So we're not going to have any issues with this. Bindable create, name of this guy. Oh no, this is the now playing page. I'm not even in the now playing page area. All right, I'm going to do it differently. I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to expose this all the way through. So what we will do is we're going to cache this thing, and we're going to use my own notification thing because it'll be easier to send it between iOS and Android that way. So we're just going to do this slightly different because I want to make sure that thing is the right height. Music, we want to go to Notification Manager. We're going to jump down and just grab one of these guys. And on this, we're going to say mini player height changed. And we're just going to fix it here. We'll just set it as a double. And we're good. All right, I like that. Nice and fancy. Okay, so now what we'll do here is, let's not the music manager. We will go to here, which is this, that. It's going to set itself out. So mini player Y. Oh, this slides itself out. So I want to find out where the bottom of that player is starting out. I don't know if this is where the right place to do this. So what I need to do is I need to figure out the height of that bar, like what the bottom of it is. After it's laid out, find out what its bottom is, so I know exactly how much to offset this. And I'm doing really fancy, tricky stuff, and that bar moves. So I can't just statically change that whenever the bar moves. I need to do it when it's set at 0 and the bar moved. And it changed. Actually, I can figure out what this is going to be because I have padding around this thing. So let's go to the now playing screen. Do we have any padding set in here by default? Mini player has a margin of 6. Margin goes on the inside or the outside? I always get those confused. Let's actually, before we go any farther, let's console.writeline some stuff. Let's go into here, and we are going to say mini y equals negative mini bar height. I wonder if I can find out what because I need to find out what the mini bar's bottom is compared to its containers. So this mini player sets up What's this added to? So this is added to, man, this is tricky. So I'm just curious if I say that it has that padding of 6. Let's just say, so that'd be 112 plus another 12. And so I can't do right. So what was it? It was 56 plus 6 equals times 2, 124. So let's just put this at 124 and see if that looks right. And then we are going to be lazy again because I'm not sure informs the right way to get that value. Man, I get myself into some tricky little problems sometimes. So we're going to say it's what, 124? Hopefully that's right. Oh, have it back on iOS. Let's go back to Android since that's what we're working on. This is the downside to doing very tricky, non-in-the-box stuff. You sometimes have to fight random things like this. Okay, we don't need that. That looks about right. It needs the padding for the other side because it's actually tripled. All right. So we are going to go to our now playing screen. And we are going to let's go to this mini bar height is a const float. We are going to move this out. Actually, 64, it's not quite right. And then load mini bar padding equals 12f. And now we'll do public const equals mini bar height padding plus mini bar height. Actually, let's set this at 6 and then times 2 because there's the top and bottom. And I should say float, shouldn't I? All right, so what we'll do is we'll have this total mini bar height. I don't like it, but it'll work. And we'll come up with something better later because this is very tricky. And now inside of here, we can now go to our offset. Peak site is going to be now playing page.total minibar height times android.ngraphicsextensions.scale. And this needs to be an int. And let's see what that does. Put a breakpoint here because I want to see what comes out. And then we'll fix iOS to do, well, iOS is also adjusted by the inset. I don't know if it automatically does that. No. Semicolons are useful. I don't like that it's semi-hard coded and that if I change my XAML, these don't match. I could on my load set the XAMLs so that way they are the same. Actually, it will because it's already, everything but that padding is getting auto-updated. So let's put a 178 height and let's see what that looks like. Too high. I wonder if it is that. Let's do that. See what it looks like. I thought I already tried this value. Thought I had a breakpoint there. All right, that is almost right. I wonder if I made all that up or if it's actual and then I'm just doing total guesswork on that. Is that 6? If I just do... Maybe the scaling is not 2. Well, we can put a breakpoint in there. Maybe it's just the bar height. If it's just the bar height, this is going to be easy. I need to try this on multiple devices. If Squeaky ever gets that pull request in, we'll be able to run this on UI test or on Test Cloud, and then we can see it. Okay, that is the exact right. So I don't have any padding because I'm doing margin. So all of this that I just went through for nothing, we're just going to say set that for there. So I have 2 different variables. Yeah, she needs to finish it so she can come work on my hackathon with me. All right, so now let's go see. Yeah, that actually looks right though. I'm curious. We put a breakpoint here. What is that end graphic scale? Watch, it's like 1 point or 2 point something random. .625. So that scaling that was just messing with me. Screen is frozen, and it looks like it's working for me. Yeah, I'm watching it work. It's on your end, R2. Sorry. It's working on my preview and on this preview, so I hope it's still working. All right. Okay, so we've got that fixed. I did not realize that Android did scaling like that, like 1 or 2.65, whatever. That is weird. I've never seen that. Learn something new every day. I should have checked that scaling a long time ago. It's true, it takes a long time to get this to Australia. Okay, I like this. That actually is a lot better. That should be right if I switch emulators or switch devices. Let me see if I have an Android that'll boot up. Any of you alive? You're dead. iPhone. I'm sorry, all my Android. Nope, is this one alive? Pass around the devices. Nope, they're all dead. All right, all my Androids are dead, so I can't even test that right now on a different device size. But that should be right because we're taking the height of it and we're multiplying it by the screen scaling to get the pixels. And that looks perfect. That's exactly how I want it. Okay, let's test search. Well, let me commit this stuff. Fixed offset. Actually, I don't want to do the notifications. I'm going to undo that because we didn't end up using it. And we'll say fixed offset on Android. Push. Discard this. And that goes up, that goes up. Reload over here. Everything should be happy. Your test will now pass because the play. Well, I'm glad that it was broken for your demo so you had something nice to show off. I knew that was going to happen. So this drives me nuts. It auto excludes files for you, or like they disappear. Right? Because yeah, that definitely still exists. Let's unload and reload this and it'll fix that. I'm glad it was a good demo. I'm glad it worked out. Me being lazy on Android really helped out. But it's caught up now. Why are you crawling on my floor? Kids. Plugging my name a bunch of times, I don't know if that's good for you. Don't know how closely you want to associate yourself with me. Could be trouble. All right, let's check out this carousel. Type blink, which we know gives us some local stuff. Go to Google, which, wow, that is slow. I need to get a device working because I would need to know if this is on my end or if it is this emulator because I'm just running in an emulator. Oh, we'll fight that later. Yeah, I don't know why he was crawling and he left my door open. It's okay. So this is working. What were you having working? Wow, that scroll speed. And then you see things like this. I'm like, wait, is that my app or is it the album artwork? Because album artwork is just ridiculous sometimes. Yes. Always good to go to Blink-182. Wow, that is really slow. I want to try this on a device. It's fine when I swipe it. It could just be the emulator being really slow. Oh, I don't have snapping enabled. That looks ridiculous. All right, how hard is it to do add paging Android scroll view? How hard is it to do that? Add horizontal paging. So someone did it. Oh, View Pager could do it. That's right. But I'd need to swap that out because it would work very differently on Android and iOS. All right. Oh, this is nice. So they're saying on when you're done, do that. We can do that. We can do our own ghetto paging. I like it. Maybe we'll do something like this. All right, let's fix paging. I'm glad you guys found out about all this stuff. It's fun. It's kind of fun to build an app from scratch, and there's all the history is all on YouTube, so you can go check that out there and play with it. The app's all open source, so at any time if you guys want to download and play with it, or as Squeaky promised, a pull request, um, always welcome. Sometimes I get behind him, slow to respond and bring these things in, but it works. Yes, you are one of my best cheerleaders, Squeaky. And again, I'm not sure if that's the best career move, but I'll take it. Okay, so where are we at? Let's try and get some paging. I'm trying to think what else we want to work on this because playback is working, which is pretty awesome. Oh, this blur. I don't know if I have it in me to fight this blur right now. Do you guys hear that? No, I don't hear it, and you don't hear it. But it is playing. What do you guys think? What should we work on next? I'm torn between doing that scrolling, that blur. Oh, if you haven't a thought on that blur, I have no idea. I just used a plugin for that. I did not. Which one am I even using? Let's look. Packages. I am using Xamarin Blur View, which let's leave that one up because in case we do paging. Find that. Nope. Let's go find it on NuGet, and then from there that might help us out. Why am I not even finding it now? All right, let's go look at what the official name is. And this won't tell me, but if we go to the source, reveal in Finder, we go here, we now open this in code. All right, Xamarin.Blurview, that's what it's called. All right, so let's go search on NuGet for it. And Oops, no, don't want to go there. Nougat, there we go. Blur view. All right, let's see, does he have the project site? That's what I was hoping to find. Yeah, his blurs look beautiful. How to use. We're doing that, doing that. Xamarin.Forms. Use this, which we are using. I'm pretty sure I copied his straight. Any issues? Nope, not what we have. Closed issues. No, that's Binance. I wonder if I can tweet the guy and ask, hey, what's up with this? Or file an issue like, I have blue. It's all blue. Let's just check the renderer compared to mine. See if I did something crazy. Yeah, maybe he'll do a pull request and fix it. I'd have no problem promoting his library. Maybe it's this overlay color. Because I just copied his willy-nilly, didn't really pay attention. Let's start playing with some of this. Let's delete that overlay color. Maybe that overlay color is what's doing it. Because, of course, there's an overlay color. If that's all it is, I'm going to feel silly. Whoa, whoa. That is, needs to have a light. That's it. The blue's gone. But the color's not quite right. So instead of that, what is this color overlay in my resources? Let's put it at like a light white or something like that. Resources, it's under color, which is under, no, not drawable. Colors, here we go. Okay, I have kids screaming outside my door. I'm gonna have to change it. No, but that shows it's a white. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I copied it perfectly. Which this is working, but that color overlay doesn't seem to match. Yeah, I have all this blue in here for those box views, but I didn't copy that. I didn't use that. Let's just Google this color. No, I thought I copied it. Let's color that, because that hex is white. That's showing me white. And I didn't use one of those primary colors. That primary color looks like what we're getting. Oh, I thought this would just show me the color. It's right, it's definitely showing me here in the XAML stuff, and that is white. Go to that. That's just going to give me that resource ID. Fixing that did fix it. Let's turn that back on. Yeah, as I was mentioning on YouTube, you can go check out all the old videos. They're there. It's been kind of fun having this entire project's history all documented. Yeah, that blue's back. If I remove the overlay color, I have a very sad kid coming to my office. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's coming slowly. Oh, I just noticed my camera's like way big and overpowering stuff. What's up, Stuart? You can... Oh, you're soaked! Why are you coming to sit on me all wet? You're giving him a washcloth to dry off when you soaked him? My kids. They're so mean to each other. Alright, so we need to fix this blur because the text is unreadable. Yes, tiny humans who are Soaking wet. Now my lap is wet. I can feel it. Luckily it's... Yeah, let's lower the blur radius. I agree. That's one thing. The blur radius is huge. What do I have on iOS? Can I see my iOS? Oh no, iOS does it all for you. I didn't even tweak that on iOS. Blur view. I use my own little blur view that I just throw in there. And it just does the default. Extra light. Okay. So let's look how Android looks with the better blur radius definitely helped, but it's all pixelated too. You guys see that? Like it's noticeable to me. That purple though. Okay. Yes, slowly being invaded. Yes, let's lower it more. What is a good radius? Let's go back to Android. What are you doing, Stu Stu? You've got me. You can't have. Why are you dancing? Alright, let's see what that looks like. And I wonder why my camera, I just noticed that my stream stuff's all wrong. Like my camera is too big and overlapping code. Not like you're missing anything there. Oh, I increased the size when I was doing a green screen. I forgot about that. I wonder if I try a different blur because this guy's blurs look amazing. Let's read his sample because his are like really, really nice looking. Like really cool. Like at the tab bar, that's what I want. Let's clone his repo. Let's run it. Download zip. Don't drink all my water. I need that. You can go get your own cup. I am busy and I can't get up. Don't drink my water. Go get your own. Oh wait, this is the... I went to the wrong repo. This one, I want this one. This is the Xamarin version. I was like, that does not have anything useful in it. This is what I want. All right. So let's go into his samples and, oh, his is a Xamarin.Forms sample. Let's run it. Close project. Let's see if we can tweak and get ours to look as nice as his. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? I don't know what you're doing, that's why. All right, so Xamarin.Forms sample. Which packages could not be restored? Okay, we'll update you. And let's get you on a new forms because I'm guessing this forms is really old. Let's hope updating forms doesn't break everything. Yellow color. Who uses yellow color? All right. Why can't you restore? Let's remove you and re-add you. All right, Kaya. Okay, I'm gonna hide my screen really quick and mess with my NuGet packages stuff. Give me 2 seconds to do that. I'm just gonna turn a couple off just because I have some that are probably causing issues. And I don't want to, okay, we're back. Turn those off. So let's see if this can now, its sockets aren't working. For NuGet, so let's just restart the IDE, that tends to fix it. Run this sample again. They're so distracting. Ooh, Taylor Swift has a fuchsia covered one? We should find that. That'd be a best debug one. All right, and things updated that time. All right, so let's forms. Oh, and I went to, yeah, that's right. Update that. Let's update this, and then it says I can't. All right, well, we're just gonna run it and see if it runs. Build error. I think these are out of date. That one says it's up to date. Could not. All right, I'll practice. Okay, so I need to upgrade or update my mod. This is what I need to do. General. I update to something nice and new. All projects, checking. Just update everything. What could go wrong? Still saying there's updates. Which version? Yeah, this is on this. Hey, you're pushing buttons. They all are hearing that. Actually, I don't think they heard that one. Maybe they did. Yeah, I don't think they heard that, Stuart. He's playing with my Elgato. My Stream Deck.
I'm all jacked up on
Okay,
Mountain Dew.
now they can hear it when you push buttons. Well, this is fun. Why isn't this working? I thought it was that one that I changed. Android package. Target Android, update that. Oh no, minimum. We can leave that down. Target, let's up that and see if that fixes it. Resave that, update NuGets. Ah, I'm updating now. I wanted to update these packages so I could run them because they wouldn't restore because they were out of date. It didn't work, Stuart. Sorry guys, my soundboard is out of my control. There's a little person pushing buttons. He picked an appropriate one actually. Hey. What are you doing?
60% of the time, it works.
Hey.
Every time.
Alright, no more. No more pushing. No. Pushing all my buttons is not a game. It's funny, you can only see his head too. Get out of my chips! That's my lunch! Oh well, I can't adjust it with him on my lap. Hey, good morning! We are hacking with little kids on my lap. Alright, I think we've got this sample working. We can now run it. We're trying to fix the blur in gMusic, and so we're trying to run a sample we found of the same library and see if their blur looks better than mine. And if it does, we're going to look at their code and see why. You want my sandwich? Alright. Get out of my chips. Nope. Okay. That does not look good. That makes me feel a lot better. What does click me do? Get out of my chips! Midgets, you're eating my lunch. Fierce midget pirates. Alright, okay. His sample does not look good, so I don't know. That's really interesting. Does his sample have anything else in it? So this is his form sample. Inside a source. Ah, he has a sample in there. Let's go look at that. And see if his native one looks better. Then we'll see what's in the native one and bring that to our form sample. Hopefully we can fix this, because that makes me not even want to use Android because it's so ugly. Fierce Midget Pirates. Did you guys get the reference? Do you guys know the Aquabats? Not. I highly recommend going and listening to that song. What is it? Aquabats. Aquabat Midget Pirates. What's the name of that song? Captain Hampton and the Midget Pirates. It's quite funny. What are you doing? No, don't push those buttons. Those ones up there you can't push. You can push these ones only. If the stream accidentally ends instantly, you know why. What are you doing? Alright, let's see if this runs.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
I have both these solutions open. Let's close this one. Let's go to this blur view. Once
Alrighty then.
I need more sound bites. He's showing how little I have. All right, no more pushing.
60% of the time,
People
it
don't want to keep
works
hearing this.
every time.
All right, we'll set this as the startup. We will now run this sample and see what happens. Well, come on. My desk is changing heights. The keyboard's falling. And my sandwich is disappearing. I'm glad this is entertaining for all of those, or for those of you watching. My chips are gone too. There's one left. All right, it was built for an older version. Oh, look at this right here. This just looks okay. Oh, what's the blur? Yeah, look at this scroll bar thing. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Let's go look at that code. Main fragment. All right. Where I don't see the top blur. Oh, yes, it's right here. That's perfect. All right. Blur view. Find resource by... Get out of here. All right, so he had a setup blur. Top settings. With root. What is the root? Maybe I'm doing the wrong root. All right. So you're saying scroll fragment, it's in this thing? I think I was in the right place. Because in the main activity, here's where they're setting up these blur views. Unless someone is looking along at home and finding something faster than me. Feel free. I don't complain. All right, his blur radius is way high. I think mine was too low. Oh no, his is between 10 and 25. And when did it I like the high blur. Sorry. Sorry it's all blurry for you. It is at 1080p as an option if you have the bandwidth. Okay, so I like the high blur. So let's open up a second instance of Visual Studio. And we're going to go for this nice high blur. And then the background window. I wonder what this is happening. Window.decor window.background. All right, so we've got another instance. Sorry, it's right. You can go back and rewatch parts of it if you want, whatever you feel like on YouTube in high quality. And then it doesn't have to live stream, so it can buffer and whatever else. Or download. Okay, so let's look at this again then. Oh, yeah, I did the right one. So if we go to our blur view renderer on Android, let's bump this to 25 because that looked hot. I liked that. Liked it a lot. He also is not setting a color. Okay, there's no color being set on this. Yes, we've got 1080. It might default low, but we've got it. All right, so we're gonna do that as a blur as a 180. Render this. The background window. What's this set has fixed transform? Do I have that going on? I do not. Let's turn that thing on. Let's do one at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh, you're gonna play Galaga? Curse lit. That's an interesting emoji. Or no, those aren't called emoji. What are they called in here? Those are called, I can't remember. But I know I can add custom ones, and I need to do that. I started on a monkey one. Yes, it would be nice to have some hot reload on this part right now. Are they called emotes on here? Okay, they call me emotes too. Makes sense. Everyone else calls me emotes. I need to find an emote designer and have an emote designer design some. But I don't even know what to tell him to design, so that's half my problem. Okay. Let's go to our blur back. Oh, we still have that color. Remove that color. The higher blur radius was nice. That looks a lot nicer, the higher blur. We're going the wrong way. It needed to go up. All right, so we add that up. Perfect. Let's also look at, he had this matrix thingy. And then, I don't know what that is. Let's go back. All right, so, and then we'll do dot. Oh, we had a dot. All right, let's see what this thing does. No idea. But his looks a lot nicer than mine, so we're doing it. Oh, you're so wet. This is very uncomfortable. Yes, I have a little mini Galaga. And I have a Miss Pac-Man somewhere the kids are playing with. And then Kaya is sitting over there playing an original Game Boy. Not color, original Game Boy. The old contrast amazing ones. All right, that looks different. It looks too transparent. So that has fixed transform. The blur, is it gone? Did I make it go away? It looks very different. I lost it. Yeah, there's no blur at all. Okay, has fixed transform, got rid of our blur. Run it again, oops, wrong hotkey. Oh, I failed. Yeah, my kids love the classics. My other son, I have one of the little mini Nintendo Super NES ones set up, the little tiny ones, and he plays that all the time. Okay, blur's back. I need a color, but the color it adds is wrong. I need a transparent layer. I wonder if I just throw a transparent layer between us and that image, and it'll look right. Because I like it, it's just too much. Or if, can I add an alpha to this blur view? I don't know if that's going to go the right way. Is this in float? Okay. My sandwich is gone. There's some crust left. Yeah, you can finish it at this point. I wasn't eating it. Okay, what's it complaining about? I'm not playing, I am working. Sometimes on the new editor, there's like an invalid character somehow in there, like an invisible invalid character. I have to go delete and then come back and it works. I need to figure out what combination I'm hitting to cause that. Okay, alpha was wrong. I need a new layer on top of that with an alpha, or under it. So, I'm doing the background and the root view like there. It just, what do I do on Android? I think part of my blur is good because I like the blur. I really like the bottom area blur. It's just a little bit too much. Yeah, I think I need to do a white or a black with an alpha. Probably a white because I'm doing a light themed, right? This is the light theme. But this is just too much. And what's that same one look like on iOS? Find gMusic. Do the same song. So artists, Blink-182. Or I don't need the same song. See, iOS I have an entire. It's just so hidden. I think the difference is I do the light thing on iOS where it has that light, like you can mimic the light. Does this have anything to mimic that? Although it looked right on their sample, right? Because their sample is doing that. That green is perfect. I wonder if it has to do with what the views are. Hmm. And let's look at that code one more time over there. So they definitely are setting a blur radius. And then they change that blur radius. I'm not seeing anything where they set up a white. So what's the root? Let's go look at their view. Layout. Which one is this? This is activity main. And they're calling that frame layout the root, so it blurs everything up to that. I don't know how in Forms to grab that, maybe. But I got that from their, not library. Xamarin Blur sample app. Go back to the Form sample app really quick. Oh, let's look at, it's the Android renderer. Yeah. Is that what I'm doing? Exactly what I'm doing. Because I copied that. activity.window.decorView.background. And if I set this overlay, we're back to ugly again, right? Or back to blue. Actually, what if we try... There's something weird with that color overlay, because that is not the right color. So I wonder if we look at his code. And... what's there? Is it under drawables? Where's the... Hey, I lost... Well, I got my lap back, guys. I got my lap back, and I lost my mouse. All right, so let's... Because mine's definitely a white. Let's look at how this thing's implemented. So if we go into that set background color, I just want to do top view. Oh, there's a background color. I wonder if we were to do that with a color with an alpha, if that would do it. I just want to go to see what set overlay does. Oh, it's not going to take me to it. Oh, it's just a binding. That makes sense. It's just a binding. So it's the original one. So overlay is not right. So let's go back to our project, and instead of overlay, set background color to android.graphics. Isn't there something that I can set the alpha on it? Let's go with white. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, the tricky one. The other thing I could do is just inject a transparent layer on Android, because a transparent white layer would do exactly what I'm trying to do here. Wow, that background color is perfect. Um, all right, I'm going along. Actually, we'll do this the right way. Let's just try that. See if we put, man, my shirt is soaked, my pants are soaked, and my plate is empty. least I've got my water. The lid is unscrewed. Kids are double agents, just so you all know. Double agents. That looks right. I love that show. I'm not going to say the name of it in front of my little midgets next to me, but I do love that show. No. Check it out. That looks right. Background color, guys, with an alpha. That is perfect. Kaya, go away. You don't know what we're talking about. That blur is perfect. Ditch the overlay, background color. Do Hamilton? Is this... Oh, I'm on local. Which artwork did you want to see? Artist, is it album? Is it the album Hamilton you wanted to see? Oh, albums don't work. Can I play it from here? That might work. I don't know if I fixed that. No, I didn't add album support yet. Album support's broken. I need a song for Hamilton. Songs work. Okay, so there's albums. Let's scroll down to songs. Oops, too far. Scrolling is too fast. All right. Tap on one of these. That's like perfect blur, guys. That is exactly right. All right. I like it. So let's search here, go to Google or go to here. Album searching's not working yet there. We need to fix that. Let's click on a song, get the same look between the two. That's about right. We have some padding issues here and there, but overall that looks really good. Okay. I'm really pleased. Hey, thanks for the cheers. That is perfect. We do have cupcakes. Yeah, look, there are cupcakes. She heard cupcakes and got excited. You don't see the dancing cupcakes? Sure. Good question. All right. Yes, you can eat one too. How do you think you eat them? Simulator just... Sure, however you think you can. Trying to get these the same size so they look the same. All right. I'm really happy with progress on this. Our slider looks good. Our blur now looks amazing. You don't see the cupcakes? Look, there's dancing cupcakes. He sees them. He's happy with those ones. What? Why would you eat a dancing cupcake? Yeah, but why would you? It's dancing. I'm not sure if she translates into the mic, but she wants to eat that dancing cupcake really bad. All right, let's commit this. Let's finally commit that. Fix blur on Android. All right, so I fixed page snap. I haven't done page snapping yet. I did fix, like, the padding's broken on both of them. We can look at that really quick. Let's go into and check out if hot reload's gonna work. It should. I'm working. What do you mean? What are you doing? All right, so those numbers need padding. Yeah, I mean, well, they looked pretty consistent. Which paddings? Oh, this one centers better. No, it centers about the same. It's just we have different screen resolutions, so you get more here. So I need to inset these numbers because those are too far. I need to do something so I can make this text change. But the numbers are too close. So let's move the numbers in because they're bad on both. Let's find those go into, let's find where those go in. Okay, so time, where do I set the time? Okay, those are data bound then, so that means it's in here. Okay, so this grid, the progress view doesn't need it, but this just needs some padding. Do you not add padding? Do you add margin? So wait, minimize and you'll see that artist string go crazy. Okay. Which one's going crazy? I see the album's over like too big. I need to figure out how to make those things not, I know how to make them not wrap, but I need to make them to where they get the font size changes so it fits. I mean, I could just make it do the dot dot dot. Yeah, that name string is ridiculously too big and overlapping. So we can fix that. That's easy fix. So let's start here and say margin equals 6. Save that. Actually, that should have hot reloaded. Okay, it did hot reload, and that text now looks really funny. How about scrolling? What scrolling? Let's fix, let's fix this thing really quick. So it's not margin I want padding. The problem is I don't want padding on the grid level because I want this progress view to go, automatically scrolling the text. I did that a long time ago on iOS, and it was really, really expensive to do. What? Am I cold? Oh, I'm a little wet, but I'm not cold. Yeah, so the auto scrolling, I did that on iOS back in like iOS 6, and it was really, really, really expensive. Granted, then I did every cell, which I probably wouldn't do that anymore. We could probably just do it here. I don't need a negative margin. Well, could I do a negative margin here? I don't know what that would do. Kaya, come on, why? Swap one kid for another one. You're bigger and I can't see over your head. I wonder, can you put padding at the column level? So if I was to do grid.row, what are you doing? Oop. Row definitions. Row definition. Can I do padding here? I can't. That's sad. What are you doing? You don't look comfortable at all. No. You're like wiggling and squirming. So I wonder what negative margin would do on that. I think you bring up a valid point. Let's put padding of 6. Save this and see what happens. So that should move whoa! Look what it did to... What in the world? Let's stop and start and see if that's a reload issue or if it's an issue with... I don't know what. You are really heavy on my arm. Yes. I like how you're just sitting here smiling for everybody. Alright. Waiting for the Android to catch up. Okay. Oh, no, that's the progress bar. That's fine. Why that doesn't go to 100%, I don't know. That looks silly. All right, so the 6 looks fine. Where'd our text go? Okay, text doesn't show up till we play. That needs fixed. But that looks good. Now let's see if we can do minus or margin equals -6. If this works, that's cool. That did work. Great idea. Thank you for that. Negative margin for the win. What? I don't, but yes, if you're going to push one, push that one.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Sure, you can push it again.
60% of the time, 60% of the time, it works
All right.
every time.
So that worked really well. That looks great. Now let's check how it looks on iOS. iOS is not
60%
debugging,
of the time,
so it won't auto-update there.
Every time.
All right, you pushed it enough. I think they've heard it enough. They hear it talk every time you push that button. push the button.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That's funny.
Yes, it is funny, except when you do it a bunch of times in a row. All right. So we've got two things to fix here. One is that that make the time set set as soon as that's ready. The other one is let's do, because yeah, if we should know as soon as that time length is loaded, we should do that. Let's fix this text too, because that overflowing here is also bad, and overflowing there. All right, let's work on text. So let me shrink my IDE. Why are you pushing buttons? They don't need you pushing. Actually, instead of making that tiny, we're just gonna go like this. Okay, so and they keep calling you a tiny human, by the way. They keep calling you a tiny human, by the way. Yeah. You. How'd I do? Oh, R2. What's he doing? All right. So, all right. Mom's here. All right. Close my door. I am tiny human free for a while. All right. Why don't I have my music playing? Not like it mattered with kids. Oh, YouTube took over my playback controls. Okay. So that's good. Let's go work on this font. So we have two of these that do this. It's that details. We should actually set all of these not to do that. So current timestamps are fine. That's not where we're looking at. Where's the other labels? We have this detail and the main one. So we have, what's that? It's wrap options or something like that. What are the options there? Oh, I'm dinging. Okay. I thought it was called word wrap, but I'm not seeing that here. It's called something else. Line break mode equals tail truncation. We'll just do that for right now. And which one is this one? Is this our top? No, this is the bottom control. So that's this one. Save that. Reloads. Does not look like it works. Oh, I did the top one. The top one was fine. Save that. We'll watch it reload. And that looks a lot better. That also could use some padding. So let's, on this bottom grid, let's do consistent padding here. Bring that in a little bit. That looks a lot nicer. Shrink to mini player. I haven't done that one yet, so that one's not going to work yet. Mini player's down here. We're working our way through. Mini player. Here's the mini player. All right, and now we'll bring it down, and that's properly doing it. Now, I wonder if someone's already wrote a control to do that scrolling text. Xamarin.ios. If not, we could write our own. I've done it before, but it was very expensive back in like iOS 6 days. So I don't know if it'd be expensive still. Someone has an example. Text. I don't see text though. Yeah, I can use the translate too. Like I said, it was just really expensive before because you're just constantly animating. Because you'd animate, go back, animate, go back. And because I don't want the news ticker where it's just like constantly, I like to go front and back. Yeah, they're just saying animate those. And it's just doing that. And I guess I could put a delay in between so it's not constantly going. And is there a way on the label to check? Yeah, I'm trying to think the right way of doing that. Because I'd have to do a view that goes the full width. Tell it not to clip, take as much space as you need. So it's going to be way larger than the actual view size. And then animate that left and right. I don't know if anyone's done it. You guys want me to try it? We could. Xamarin.Forms news ticker label. Oh no, ticker class. Because that's kind of... Alright, this thing will be tricky, but we could do it if you guys want. Is that the next thing we probably need to do? We're only going to use it on the now playing screen. I'm not going to do it while scrolling text because, like I said, in the old one, it went nuts. Actually, let me see if I have the source code for really, really old gMusic. And we can actually go look at how I did it then. One second. Let's go back to here so you guys don't have to see all that. Oops. How old is the... Oh, this one's a pretty old one. This might be... This one I never open sourced. Let's open it. Yeah, so the old way I did it was I tapped into the screen. I'm not sure if it ties in the GPU. That'd be interesting if they do. I know Jason wrote something fancy for it. This is really, really old gMusic and probably isn't going to build. Let's just build it. This is before it was ever cross-platform. And actually, this one's probably not even old enough to have the ticker. Yeah, it's not going to build. Let's look at UI. I had some fun stuff in there. This one had, I never released it, but I did some OpenGL graphic stuff in there so I could draw like the Winamp style like animation thingies, which would be fun to do at some point. This had, I'd like to do this again. This meter, so like you can actually watch the music go. That needs to show up again. We need to do that again. Yeah, I had a bunch of visualizers I was playing with that I just never finished and never released. Scroll, it's not this one. All right, it's not this live. This is not the right one. I think it's even older than this. gMusic is, this is like its fourth rewrite. Let me go check and GitHub really quick. I have all the old stuff still there. I should open those at some point. Yeah, it might be on the API. So back when we were doing forms, Jason did animations because I don't do animations very well. I don't know enough about it. And so he did his own thing. So I can't tell you. I've never really read the code. Let's just search for music repos. Okay, here's one. Yeah, I've got quite a few of these. Here's a no, that's from Last Touch 2015. Here it is, Last Touch 2013. This is the original gMusic. gMusic iOS. Here, I can bring it over here so you guys can see me working on it. I still have the level meter then. Starting over. That's what this is tagged. No, this has that slider. This isn't that old. Let's look. This can't be the right one. This only has 18 commits. This could be right. This one's, I started over quite a few times. This one's really old. 2013. See if in this one, if there's any code. Scroll to genre, list. Oh no, this has Android in it too. Wow. I don't know if I can find the old code. Okay, not finding it. This one, let me check one more place. So the old gMusic was set up into a lib that was shared across multiple projects. Let's search if this had it. Okay. Yep, I don't know if I still even have that old code. It's got to be somewhere in a commit history. Oh, I've got another one from 2014. Scroll view, scroll view. Yeah, I'm not going to find it. Okay, ditch that stuff. I do miss working with Jason sometimes. It's been a while. It's been a long while. All right. Hasn't even been that long, has it? Time just flies. All right. So I don't think I've ever written any Xamarin.Forms animation code. So if we're going to do this and we're going to do this live, I'm going to have to learn. So this is going to be fun. So let's learn. Let's do this. All right. So like I said, what I think I need to do is we're going to need to do a content view that is going to scroll its content inside. I wonder if I can do an actual scroll view that has interactions disabled. No, and I just scroll that? No, let's try doing it with the Xamarin.Forms animations. All right, let's make sure we're in a good, clean spot. Oh, I never pushed that code. Let me get that pushed so you guys can see it. All right, that's all up there. So Xamarin.Forms animation text. See if anyone's done anything with text. Someone else asking the same question. Hmm. Let's start with what this guy's doing. That looks interesting. Okay. Actually, I'm going to close Visual Studio because I have two of them opened and I'm going to keep clicking on the wrong icon. So I'm going to switch which one is loaded. And let's do that. We're also going to need to measure and see how far to actually translate it and to move it and why. And so this could be fun to figure out. I wonder if I need to do. All right. No, nothing else to do except jump in. Actually, yes, this is the right one. Let's make this window big enough. No need to keep the window open because we're not going to be able to hot reload because this will not be done in XAML. Give you guys full screen. Almost there. I can't get it that last centimeter. Oh well. You guys can see a little bit of purple from VS Code. All right, so let's close all this stuff. All right, so we are going to start by saying we have inside of here. All right, let's just do it. Let's go to views. Let's add a new control, add new, and we are going to call this tech. Overflow label sounds good. I think that sounds good to me. All right, overflow label. And this is going to be I think we need to make it a content view. That way I have full control over it. And we will need to add some bindable properties, which I load doing. This needs to be public, static, bindable. Actually, I'm going to cheat. Live stream, Xamarin.Forms. Let's go, because we're going to make this like a label. So we're just going to go steal the label stuff anyway. And then we're just going to proxy it along. All right, label, here we are. So what properties do I use first? Let's figure that out so I know what I need to bind because I'm lazy. And I only like binding what I have to. All right, so we do alignment, horizontal options, and style, and of course text. Actually, we don't need alignment. Alignment doesn't matter because we're going to be moving this thing. So it's always going to be centered, else it'll scroll. Well, I guess it does matter. We'll be nice. We'll do alignment. All right, horizontal property. Now let's hope that this is not using all private stuff. It is. This text alignment thing is an internal. Dang it. Always worried about that stuff. Whoa, what are these? Okay. All right, so we have name of, oh, I don't have that yet. So we'll do, and what does this thing bind to? It binds to text alignment. Text alignment. Start with that. Got that, got that. We don't need this. Do I have too many of these? Default value. All right. All right, we're just gonna copy this again. Why is that hidden? Biggest pet peeve with forms is how much stuff is just hidden. Like, oh, sweet, the code's there. No, it's not. Okay. That is on. Now we need another one of these. This one without the bindable. Actually, we don't need this. What we will do is let's start with having our label. We can do this easy. Okay. Label. We might need to set the default here too. No, we won't. We'll be fine. All right, so we're also going to say label dot horizontal text alignment equals this. And now we'll just say that. All right. Properly wrapping this stuff. Oh. All right, so oops, I almost had that. Oops, wrong button. All right, that did not work at all. Okay, dot label dot horizontal text alignment equals text alignment new value. Sometimes it's easier just to type, even though I like copying and pasting. All right, perfect. That's all we need. We're not even using the old value. All right, so we're going to need to do this a couple times now. All right, so what goes into here? So return type, I don't know, so the first time is property name. Return type is, right? And its declaring type is that. I think that's right. All right, so we have the horizontal alignment. So if there's nothing there, how does it sit? Thanks, I'm glad this is useful for you. I'm muddling through it just like the rest of you guys, but glad it's useful. All right, so we have our label there, and I probably need to make sure that label's not null. I just want to be safe. It shouldn't be. Oh, we're going to be safe. Oops. All right, so if it's null, we'll return. So we said we need the text property as well. And then we will do public these aren't done yet. We still need to do those to make it right. And all right, so I'm just thinking this through. So we've got that. We're going to do our text property string. This is going to be null. And then that's right, that's right. Instead of that, actually, can I just do all right, so now what we can do is let's change this a tad. So to make this really clean, we'll just do void that text. So now if label is not equal to null, label equals text. Oops, sorry, label.text. All right, so now what we can just do in here is be will it let me do this? I think I might need those curly braces, but I think I can get away without them. Dot set text n. I like it. Now I don't have to keep creating all these things. And this should never be null. I don't know how that would be possible. All right, so now we're going to do, we have set text. Oh, that's the wrong one. All right, so we have set text. We also have text alignment, and we'll do set, will be nice. We'll call it horizontal. You know, it's a ridiculously long name. All right, so horizontal alignment. This time it'll be dot horizontal alignment. We'll leave it as, we'll rename it because that's ugly. All right, so now we can do the same thing. And this time, instead of set text, we'll do set text alignment. Set that. All right. Okay, perfect. I like this. We're also going to have to fix these things. So was it just those two or is there three we needed? We don't need line break mode. Horizontal options, that's going to be tricky. We're gonna need to do it. Let's just throw it up there. I'm gonna move this down, put all those statics up by themselves. Actually, we're just going to default this thing to that. Center and expand, or fill and expand, because that's what this thing should always do. So I'm not even going to bind that one because I don't care. All right, so now that we have this, we need to finish these guys off. These guys aren't done yet. And this is going to be get value. Oh, they don't have a typed one? Disappointed. Get value. We should add that extension because I like that other code better. All right, get value, and now all we need to do is you pass in that property on those, right? Now for set, we're not going to be able to do that fancy thing. So we're going to say if set value. It does not tell you a Boolean. So on mine, I tell me to tell me if it changed. So I can just do set value. I would say horizontal property alignment property value. The reason I do that is I can just say, what was I thinking? My mind's going. All right, so that way I can say if it changed, then pass this thing along, just as a pre-optimization. So whenever I'm doing my bindable stuff, I always have my set value return a Boolean, and that's if the value changed. Because if not, don't send notifications along, who cares? All right, so now we're gonna just copy this because I'm lazy, and we're gonna do the same thing again. Text property, set text, string. All right, much better. All right, now let's do our creating this thing. Got all of our properties. So public overflow label. We'll say label equals new label. And we're going to say it's horizontal text alignment equals horizontal text alignment. Text equals text. And we're also going to do equals, what do we do? Center and expand or fill and expand? Fill and expand. Equals, no, this is not, why is that auto-completing funny? Sure, why not? And we'll say this dot horizontal options equals, this is layout options, dot fill and expand. That's our default. And we're not letting you change it because we don't care. Okay, and now for now, we're just going to say content equals label. We're going to change that because we're going to want to be able to like have fun with that later. Now, override size on size request. Is this what I'm looking for? No, that says it's deprecated. Or, okay, what does it say to use instead? Please use on measure. Oops, wrong one. We'll go here and we'll do override on measure. And for this, for now, we're just going to say label. Actually, we'll say first, we'll say if label is not equal to, actually, label dot on met. Are they not going to let me call that? On measure is protected. Or is it internal? Or what is it? Protected. All right. So let's cheat and look really quick in the source code, or we're just going to reflect this bad boy. I've been living it dangerously with reflection, so we might jump into reflection land. So visual element. Nope, not there. How many of these things are there? Oh, that's iOS specific. Forms, core, Windows specific. Okay, this is the one. There's that on. Okay. Public virtual get size request. That's what we need to use then. Knew we'd figure it out. If not, we were going to reflect that bad boy. All right, we're just going to say on size request. Wait a minute, what? Did I do on? Get size request. Well, what am I supposed to use then? On size request. And it's hidden! Use this, wait, no, that's saying, is it me? Are they sending me in circles here? All right, size request, get size request. Oh, use on measure. And on measure is hidden. That makes no sense. How do you hide it from me? And what does this use under the hood? It uses on measure under the hood. And it calls on size what's on size request? Okay. Is this public? That is not. Sweet. All right. So let's just do this. So if label is not equal to null, let's hope this works. All right, so now I should be able to, I don't have that namespace in there, go into my now playing control, and we can bring this thing in here. Oh, we should update our topic. Topic, animated, plain text, and Xamarin. All right, update topic. All right, so now this we should be able to do, yeah, it's gMusic. gMusic, overflow label, property, oh, design time. I wonder if I have to do anything for that. This isn't needed anymore. So I wonder if what I have to do for design time text. I'm just curious if I build this, what it'll do. Or if there's something custom you do. I didn't think so, though. No, it's building. It's fine. Ignore that error. It's fake. Fake news. Okay. We're getting somewhere, though. Oh, I have these wrong. Do you guys see what I did? Text property, text property. Had them exactly backwards. Oh, that didn't indent better. Well, it's fine. You're writing tests for what I'm binding. That's funny. You're doing it as I do it? That's insane. That's craziness. All right, now what's our crash? Oh, all the font stuff. My style is trying to add font stuff. Darn it. What's it blowing up on? Let's find out which ones are missing. We need to add all this font. Okay, so our style is going to set font stuff. And we need to bind font stuff. Let's go back to our label. What's all on label? We don't even know if this is going to work though, Sweeky. You could be jumping the gun on this. Font property. And they've got a font element which is going to be hidden again. It's alright. We can steal it all, guys. Okay. So we need all of these guys. Didn't think about fonts, guys. We totally forgot about that. All right, so font property. Oh, and they've got all these default creator things. I don't even know what that is. Actually, I got an idea though. Okay, we can do that. What is this thing though? For the iFont element. Actually, is it in here? You know what? We're gonna forget that for now. And we're just going to not set those anyway. Because if you don't set it, it's gonna use the default font. So I'm not gonna worry about this. So we'll fight those in a minute. So we have font. Let's fill these things out. So what all do we have to set? We need font, font family, font size, font attributes. Lots of fun stuff. Okay, let's see if we can go steal those from label so I can be lazy and not write them all. Oh, that one's obsolete, saying don't do it anyway. So we're going to throw it here anyway because I might be using it. Okay, so let's go to text alignment. We'll just start throwing them in right here, right under text, because text is one of those. And we'll deal with those, and it's nice, it just compiles. Set value, and it even has set text, but that's not the right thing. Oh no, that's this one. That's right. I was looking at my own, like, wait, how do they have the same exact thing? All right, font. It's saying use the attributes. Here's font attributes. So we brought over font, font family, font size. We need font family and font size. We also need font size. All right, so now we're going to add a couple more of these. We're going to do set font. And now if label, I really wish this syntax would work. Dot font. Is it not even gonna let me? Because it's set to none. Technically compiles, but they have it hidden. So I wish that syntax would work rather than having to do if label not equal to null. It just gets tiring writing this over and over again. All right, so we've got set font. We'll ignore it complaining. We need to do font attributes. If label. Come on. Or at least give us the Unity syntax, which is like if label. Oh, lowercase for me. Come on. Be smart. All right, so font size is next, or font family is next. String font. String. Especially because if I didn't have to curly brace these things, I could make it really nice and clean syntax. label dot font size. Okay, one more, font size, right? That's the last one, font size. And then we can fill those out at the top. Set font size, double. If label, and actually label should never be null. Why am I even worrying with this? You know what? We're living dangerously, guys. Actually, it could. If this thing is set before the view because this thing's static, no, it can't. It can't. We're living dangerous, guys. I am tired of writing this. We are undoing it all. Boom! You're gone. I should have just passed in value each time. Just got tired of writing this. Ugliness. Ugly code. Killing me. Go die in a fire. And I'm keeping this as a method. Yeah, I don't need to worry about nulls, but I was thinking about it, right? Nulls are impossible. This is why. So this casts it first, and then calls it. And those should have the question mark, right? So if these are checking it, and if we want it to be safe, instead of casting, we'll do as, right? Now the null checkings happen here. If this thing's instantiated, there's a label. We've done it in the constructor. We've got a label. So I'm gonna live a little dangerous because it doesn't matter. We can. If it is, I've got bigger problems with that. Do I have that fancy font that makes those arrows like solid in funkiness? I'm not sure which font you're talking about. I do have one of those, like some of my icons are font icons, if that's what you're asking about. So we're gonna change all of these to be as, and then those do a check, so we're safe. So safe. So let's actually just copy this whole thing. And we'll paste this, and this is set font. Font. So nice. So nice. I love it. Almost done. See, taking these shortcuts, so much better. And why aren't these using name of? Fix these, and then I've got one more thing to do, and it should run. All right, that's looking better. Now all we have to do is here, when these are set, I don't know why I like that syntax so much better. Set font, value. We need to do that on each of these. I remember when they first added that, it was all or nothing. You couldn't do one of them with the fancy syntax and the other one not. It would blow up. And so I'm glad they fixed that because I like mixing and matching. Okay, so we've got that set font. Why? I don't want your jelly bean. I don't trust you. I don't trust you guys. They like giving me those every flavored beans, and they check them and try giving me the bad ones. Yeah, I don't trust you. See? I knew you guys had those. Don't trust you guys. Okay. That font size. Yeah, they're coming in here trying to give me some I don't even know what it was. Some disgusting jelly beans. Not happening. And I know it's disgusting because they pre-checked them all. They're good like that. They keep the good ones for themselves. Oh, invalid cast. What cast? Oh, oh, oh. Hold on. What am I doing with this? Let's just remove this. See if that has anything to do with it. If you bring them next week, Sweeky, you're eating some of them. Have my kids teach me how to detect the bad ones. Okay, it wasn't that. Okay, so am I calling this as a label? Do I have a name on that somewhere? No, that doesn't have name. You know what? Let's just do one other thing just in case. Operator, label, this overflow label. Just curious. Seeing if this gets called. Isn't that right? You do those on this? Oh, it doesn't get the static. Or the this, I'm used to doing extension methods. Ortnow's not coming. Bounty will be there, since he lives there. We'll see if he actually comes in and hacks with us all night. Something tells me he's going to pull the family card and bail. Darn it. What could I be doing? So this is on font size default value. Okay, binding object. Default size. Let's follow that down. Default size. Is that the one I deleted? -1. Okay, yeah, I'll zoom in a bit. So it's having a problem with default font size. Yeah, the debug stuff doesn't match my zoom level, but we'll zoom into it. I can manually zoom. So right here in the call stack, oops, it's on the font size element, the default value creator. That's that thing I didn't follow. This thing. Double. Okay, we're gonna build this thing in here. Okay, so I skipped that part thinking I didn't need it, but I think I do need it. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then there was something in this font element. I don't know if they're making all these things hidden. I have to jump through these hoops like this. And actually, we don't even need that. We will do, where's this thing used? All right, so font size has this. And is that thing, okay. Fixing that font size helped, but then broke something else because I didn't implement this thing right. Default value creator, is that what that thing was? Default value creator. be what did I call that thing? Well, I didn't call it. I copied their thing. Where was that font size thingy? Here it is. Default. All right. I think that implemented what we needed. Again, all this hidden stuff where I can't just use it. Oh, another invalid cast. All right, same thing. Font size default value creator. It could be that it's not created yet. Put a breakpoint in there. I say the font size is an overflow label. See if that gives me a null object exception. Maybe we can put breakpoints in there too. Put it into its own static function so we can breakpoint. Invalid cast. I wonder what it's casting. It has to do with that. Press play again. It should give us an output. I'll zoom it in nice and big for you guys watching remotely. If I can find the right hotkey. I thought it was this one. Oh, there we go. Invalid cast. Font element. It's on font element. I'm not messing with the default font element though. Does this thing need to be that font element thing? Go look at font element. Am I somehow using this? And there's no way for me to do like, ooh, ooh, hello, hello there. What did it just implement? Okay, we can deal with this, guys. We can deal with this. I'm probably going to ditch these. Yeah, let's ditch these. So if I do that, I might not need all these binding properties that I just added. Because what I can just use the underline. Oh well, we'll keep them for now. Okay. For now, I'm just going to say this is a weird wrapping thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing some random nut stuff here. Set font size, because these aren't static. Okay, make sure these lines up. I have this. I just copied it over. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It'll be up on YouTube so you can finish it later if you want, or just check out the code. Like I said, it's all open source. You can just check it out later. We'll get this up there. Whether or not we use it, we'll see. But I'm at least, yeah, it's still been fun. Still been lots of fun. This one is actually, I wonder if these should be something different than I'm doing here. Oh, well, it'll be fine. All right, let's comment this implicit operator. Let's see what this does. Oh, error, error. Um, oh, what's that thing called? It's this one. Okay, why is that not working? I'll just add the static one. Our only one with the static one. Actually, I don't even need this. I can just say this. All right, run that. It's weird that I'm being forced into using it as an iFont element. I'm okay with it. If it fixes it, I'm okay with that. Darn it! On text color property changed. What's text element used? We need iText element. All right, we're getting there, guys. I think it's brutal. No, this has nothing to do with my pull request that I have out. And this is not going to be easy because it's not just going to let me do that. Because this one's not public like the other one is. All right, that's all right. We'll just go grab these two. Only two more. Let's hope it doesn't have to be cast. All right, so we've got that. Label now has these. Now we have that, so we need the actual property. All right, so here we will do another one of these little guys. Let's hope this doesn't have that weird cast. Label dot font color. Or no, text color. Name that wrong. Um, Equals color. Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, let's push the button. We're gonna
60% of
do
the
it.
time, it works every time.
I can't cast it to that stupid interface. It's not possible. Why is it not? Oh, I didn't want to start again. Dang it, I wanted that output. Let's crash it again. We should have been able to override that because ours isn't a label. We have those properties. Press play, that'll make it crash. Go back up to our text element dot on color property changed. But why is that happening on our thing? Because our thing is not a label. This doesn't even have anything in there. But it is trying to cast it. It's the static. So it's this guy somehow surfacing itself, goes and does the text element, which we have right here, color. It's doing this and trying to cast my bindable to this iText element, which I can't subclass. Why is it using that instead of mine, though? That's what I want to know. All right, hold on. Okay, so what if I extend the label? I could do that. I could, but my thing is a label can't have a label inside of it. So I wanted to do the content view so I could swap it out. You know what? We're going to do it differently. And I'm going to first save this somewhere. I like where I'm at and I want to file a bug and say, what the heck, people? Why is this not working? Oops. Let me get this back. Okay, this isn't a good state. All right, and I'm going to gist this puppy so I don't lose it. And I just made it a public gist. I'll paste it in here in case you guys want to play with it. But I have a different idea. Completely different idea. I don't know if this will work. I think it'll work. No. Fill and expand. Okay. Now, inside of my now playing XAML, can you access child or children? Like, the attachable property. Hey, good morning, Kim. We're doing something crazy. We're trying to build an auto-scrolling view. And I tried making my own content view that had all the text label properties on it. and I ran into font color. The way style is applied? Oh, guys, it just dawned on me what it is. I bet. All right, so something about my styles and how I set it. Let's go back to this. Oh, dog just barking at people walking by. I wonder if I can do something to where I can access this just to make it even easier on myself. But this style, main text label style, and I spelled label wrong. That's really funny. Go me. All right, so I have my style here. This is a label style. Guess what it applies to? A label. So it's casting it as a label when it applies it. So it's my style stuff that is the real culprit here. But let's see if we can do this even easier then. So instead of applying the style here, I wonder, I can't just override the style setting. Wonder if I could just chain that thing through instead. So I've got two options here. One, can I make it to where I can adjust the child property, which I should be able to, because like how does content view do it? Okay, so what if this will make this simpler? Right, where are we? So if we just do this, hey, that, oh, I don't know, I was just trying to finish something that's not working. I can be done whenever you want me to. I wonder if that will work. Let's build it, see what happens. It's not complaining. And now I don't have to wrap the stupid label. Okay, the label's gone, but it let me do that. Okay, all right, so let's bring back some of our other stuff that we had in there. Because I think our measure is all wrong. Actually, the measure should be right. Because the content view should auto do it based off its size. Yes, I have a 3D printer right there. That is a VR treadmill that I'm trying to sell. Yeah, there's lots. There's Virtual Boy, a bunch of Xamarin Monkeys. My office has so many random things. It's insane. Okay, so that worked. We've got something there. Now, why does our label not have anything? I probably need to end soon. Let's see if this at least works. We'll finish this thing up next time. So label is the text set on it. Font size is set. No text. Oop, did it again. We have text. I don't know when the text gets set. There should be text right now. All right, this has been a fun stream. We've done some interesting things on this one. This one's tricky though. Okay, label is null right there. Right, because of when I set it. That's an easy fix. Question mark. All right. Oh, that is. I'm like, hey, what? It's working. The only other thing we can try is we'll do x colon, if this will catch up, name equals. So we can tie into this at a different point. Let's do that instead. All right, so now in our now playing, not this one, and definitely not that one. Let's go to our code behind, and then we'll do it on swipe. Where's that? I have an update visible percent. We'll put it right here. It'll fire once at 0. Maybe another time, I don't know. It'll fire a couple times. Oh, I was just thinking my percentage stuff is wrong on Android that we fixed earlier. Math. Messed up on math. It's always math. All right, so it should have a value now. So now if I swipe up, I can go to our immediate window, which is going to be, where is it? It's not visible. View, go to debug pads, immediate window. If you don't use your immediate window, guys, you're missing out. And I'll zoom in the best I can. This is really awkward. All right. So what do I call that? I call it, now I can't zoom out to see. I called that the, and I can't see chat either to ask you, so I can't over here. Over, well, I didn't call, no, just I call it overflow, didn't I? What's its properties? Text is null, so that data binding did not work on that. And I don't want to manually data bind each of these. So what we could do is let's look at how list view does it, because I mean content view or any of these things. Content view might be data bound. I need to do this. Oh, that's going to be nasty again. But if we do this, we can do that for our label. I think this will do it. That's name of label. It's a type of label. This type is overflow view. Property changed. What is it? O-N. I have to return an object? Okay, so now we'll just say, I want to say B as overflow label. Dot label equals N as label. I don't want to ever do that. We'll put a breakpoint there because that should never happen. Actually, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I let you set it that way. Let's see if that fixes our text issues. Oh, I didn't make label work right. Text is null. All right, so we're going to do this slightly differently then again. Let's do this. Why is that complaining? Oh, it doesn't have a name in there. Okay. Set this up the right way. Set, we'll do okay, so we've got that set up now. And now instead of doing this, we'll do void on I think we do this now. And we'll say content equals label. All right, now, oops. I think that's all we have to do. Now we can jump into now playing here, and we'll change this. Actually, I'm trying to think, do I do this and then do a label inside of there? I can't remember, but I think that's right, or I don't even need this. Maybe I do. We'll do that just in case. I have no idea if that's right. If not, I'm gonna have to do some Googling or research or ask the forms team the right way of doing this, or read some more forms code. So to those who tuned in, we're trying to do like a stock ticker style thing with an overflow label, or if it overflows, it'll just like flow through. Okay, that set it. Play once. Now if hey, check it out. We have label text. That totally worked. I don't like the syntax. I'd like to do something better. It's not null. don't like that I have to put the label. Let's just see if I remove those, if it works, because that'll be cleaner. That might go straight to the content though. Hey, no, that looks like it might go. No, it didn't work. But I got that. Okay, so that worked better. Can I not just do... That's what I would be fine with doing. I don't like it, but it's better than... What am I missing? I'm missing something. Oh, okay, that closes. What am I missing? It closes. Oh, it's just complaining, but it's working. I have lots of null. Keeps happening. See what this does. If not, we'll go back to that ugly syntax we just had. Or we'll expose some stuff like text directly on that overflow label and we'll generate it for you. But no, I still need to set that style. Curse this! That's just getting I don't know. Actually, so if we do this, let's check one more thing. One more thing. Give it a default value of a label. Let's do this. Let's hope this works. Go. This is going to have to be one of those to be continued those. I'm gonna run. Ooh, that's going slow. Yeah, that didn't work. I was hoping maybe if we had that set. What if we do that? Only automated ones. Oh no, not that. Let's do. See if we can do something to try and make it to where it just fills it in for us and we have a label so we can set those properties on it. Okay, that gave us a label. That gave us content. Is it gonna have properties? No properties. Oh wait, I didn't have a breakpoint here. Let's go but I still don't see it. But if I don't see it, that's a different problem. And that we can work with. I'm okay if we don't see it as long as the properties are set. So let's move that. Let's go to our immediate. It's null. Yeah. Curse this thing. I don't like that ugly syntax. It works. So I can't complain. It's just really ugly syntax. Maybe next time we can try subclassing label and see if I can do something fancy under the hood. But no, I don't know how that would work. Because Forms wouldn't know how to display it right because it can't hold content. And then press play, and this time our label, is it filled out at all? No text. Ooh, new label, new label. No text on that one. Okay, so now we've got that. We'll do this. It worked that time. We have text. All right, well, we're going to have to go with this, and we're just going to animate from there. It's an ugly syntax to use it, and I'm sorry it's ugly. Let's remove this. I just want to make sure it displays. It's working. I don't know what else to say. It's working, so we're just going to go with it. And we're going to have ugly syntax. Maybe I was trying. Can I change that? Okay, I might look into that. Maybe we can do something like that. And I can just pass in the label. I didn't want to even pass the label in, but I'm okay if we have to. I wanted to just use it as a label, but then it blows up all your label styles. Label styles don't work then. And it should be able to use a label style. So, actually, did it at least set the fonts on those things? Oh, excuse me. I don't know. All right. Well, we'll see next time. I'll come back and we'll see next time if we can do something with this style stuff. I mean, content, so we can set the default content and ditch this. And I'm going to see if there's someone, and then, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll work on the animating. We will animate next time. Let me click a couple buttons. I'm wondering if there's anyone have any recommendations on someone we should raid? If not, I will look in my links and see if I have something. Close that. Where am I looking at? Any recommendations? If not, I'm going to look and see if there's any live coders that there's a couple from the coding stream that I've done recently. I'm wondering if there's someone else. We've done Codephobia lately. We might go back to him. Any recommendations before I go? Or we'll do Codephobia or Lana Lux. I failed rating her last time I tried. All right, for someone loading artist who draws comics. That might work. I tend to send people the programming ones just because it's fun to continue on the programming ones. Since you guys are watching me code, I figured you'd want to continue with that. But I could be completely wrong on that. Who's doing fun stuff? All right, I tried to raid Lana last time and I failed. We can do it again the right way this time. So I'm going to run my ending thing and make sure I spell it right. Didn't do the underscore. We'll do that. Thanks, guys. I'll stream again. Remember, next week, don't forget, next week, I'm going to be working on a brand new prototype. We're having a hackathon at Microsoft, and I'm going to be at the office, and I'm going to be hacking and live streaming as much as possible. We might even get close to a 24-hour-ish stream, depending on how long we stay awake. And we're working on a brand new library called Hot UI. I showed it off a little bit in the stream. It's amazing. It's gonna be fun. You guys are gonna wanna watch that. So, have you not seen Hot UI, Kim? I'll ping you later and send you a video, or go watch the recording of this. At the beginning, I showed it. It's really fun, and I'm going to be showing that off and hacking live on that next week with some of the people from Microsoft that have been watching this. So it won't be exactly 24 hours because I'm going to fall asleep at some point, but we're probably going to start around 8:30, maybe 9 a.m. on Monday Pacific time, and we're going to go all night and just see how late we go. So, yeah, we're going to have, even if it's just not me, there's going to be other people on this team. I'm just going to have my stream going so you guys can jump in whenever you want. And yeah, Squeaky will keep going if I fall asleep. So yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to do it, and it's going to be awesome. So yes, rolling my end credits. I'm going to start a raid. Thanks, guys.